Okay, so good morning po, dear training. Let me inform you po that this class is recorded and we also YouTube live. So kung para malaman ninyo kung ano po yung link natin, click niyo lang po yung live, then makikita niyo po doon yung nakasulat na copy link, may ganun po. Para mabalikan niyo po kung ano ang napag-usapan natin today. As we start our day. Okay, so wait lang po, I'm sharing my screen po. Kita niyo po yung aking sinishare.
Loading lang po, ma'am.
Okay, sabi po natin na
Opo.
loading. Okay, so nag-reloading siya. Pakintay lang po natin. Ang daming nag-online class today sa paligid natin. Ano po?
Opo.
Ano po? Ang mga anak nga, ay teacher nga ng anak ko, lahat sila ano na eh. Hindi na yata naggumagamit ng nag-open ng cam. Nag-messenger class na lang muna kasi nga
Mahirap po kasi, ma'am.
ang hirap. So, prayer for online class.
Welcome to the TESTA online program. This is Netiquette, Basic Internet Etiquette for e-learning. Let's go through the basic guidelines in e-learning. Just like in face-to-face learning, to succeed in a virtual classroom, you have to follow instructions. Study hard, attend your classes, take notes, submit requirements on time, and participate in activities and discussions. Of course, all forms of dishonesty are still unacceptable and have similar consequences. At the same time, E-learning is different. We don't always get to see each other's faces, our expressions, gestures, and even hear the tone of how we speak, which are important nonverbal cues of communication. So, how do we make sure that we get to communicate and interact effectively with facilitators and learners in our e-learning classes? Well, with netiquette. Netiquette, or internet etiquette, is the proper and acceptable behavior in the internet. Basically, it's manners for the virtual society, and in our case, proper conduct in our e-learning courses. Here are the basic e-learning etiquette that we must observe in the duration of this course. Number 1. Be respectful. Always be respectful and considerate of your fellow netizens when communicating through email, discussion boards, chat rooms, and audio-video conferences. In addition, also be mindful of personal beliefs, backgrounds, spaces, and privacy. Number 2. Take e-learning seriously. As they say, what you put in the internet stays in the internet. Your conduct in the internet reflects who you are, and the same goes to e-learning. That's why it is important to think before you click. Always remember, review and edit before you send or post anything. Number 3. Be presentable. Present yourself properly in all the different platforms. If you will be seen or heard, wear appropriate clothes and make sure that your space is devoid of distractions such as inappropriate backgrounds and loud noises. Number 4. Read first. Read first instructions and scroll through threads before you comment. Do not ask what has already been stated. Ensure that you understand the context of what you are replying to. If you want to clarify something, make sure it hasn't been asked or said before. There might be things that you might have missed, so go through the thread or the text. If things are still not clear, then you may seek clarification. Number 5. Use proper language. When communicating online, please use proper language. Be clear and concise. Check your spelling and grammar, and avoid text speak and slang terms. Number 6. Mind your expressions. Expressing ourselves is very important. However, in the online world, there are times that we can be misinterpreted. Be careful with what you say and how you say it. Do not use caps lock. This can be considered as yelling. As mentioned earlier, use proper language. Also, avoid using emoticons, humor, and sarcasm. This may be interpreted differently. Others may not get it, and some may find it offensive. In addition, choose your words and tone down strong language. Difference in opinion can be settled through calm and courteous language and proper explanation. Number 7. Cite your sources. Ensure that you give credit when you reference something, especially when using quotes and ideas. Please practice proper citation and do not plagiarize. Number 8. Be precise. Be direct, objective, and brief with your comments. Stay on topic and avoid posting or commenting on things not connected to the subject at hand. Number 9. When providing a comment or opinion on the discussion topic, explain your stand and clarify what it means. Support your answer with proper references, but don't forget, be precise. Number 10. Identify what and whom you are referring to. In discussions, topics and comments may overlap. When you are commenting, always refer to the topic and to whom you are addressing the message or comment to. Example, "Hi Carla, regarding what you said about LO5, I agree with you. I think we can develop a rubrics for that." Number 11. Use standard fonts. Avoid fancy and stylized fonts as this can be distracting. In addition, use proper text sizes. 10 to 12 points are acceptable. Number 12. Prepare for your activities and be on time. Prepare for synchronous activities such as audio-video conferencing and scheduled discussions. Be on time. Respect the time and bandwidth of others. Number 13. Wait for your turn. During audio-video conferencing and live discussions, allow others to finish their statements. Mute your microphone when it is not your turn. Notify the facilitator if you want to speak through the chat feature and wait to be recognized. And lastly, number 14, secure confidential information. Do not share your passwords to anyone and regularly update it. Do not send or share confidential information, most especially in informal platforms. There you go. Keep this in mind and I'm sure you'll succeed in your e-learning course. What are we waiting for? Let's start this class.
Ma'am, excuse po, nakamute po ata kayo.
Okay, so, Miss Arandela Jaslyn. So let us check first the attendance. Ulitin ko, Miss Agnes Rodriguez. Are you here? Agnes Rodriguez. Wala po si Ma'am Agnes. Angelica Joy Piñaflor.
Yes po, present.
Miss Analisa Galicia. Analisa Galicia. So, ma'am, present po kayo. Arandela Justin.
Present po.
Garcia Risi. Garcia
Present po,
Risi.
ma'am. Present po, ma'am.
Okay po. Miss Irene Villanueva.
Present po, ma'am.
Okay, so Miss Marisa Pable. Present si Ma'am Annalisa Pable, nandito siya. Si Ma'am Marisa Pable. Okay, then,
Present po. Present, ma'am.
okay. Mauray Formon. Correct me if
Present po, ma'am.
Opo. Mauray, tama po.
Opo, ma'am.
Rubilin Mendoza. Miss Rubilin Mendoza.
Present, ma'am.
Okay, so Trixie Lanotes. Miss Trixie Lanotes.
Present po.
Sino po si B2038? Sino po kaya si B2038? Wala po. B2038. Okay, so,
Ma'am Annalisa Galicia po, present po, mama.
opo. Si Mama Annalisa Galicia.
Thank you po.
Opo, hinahanap po si B2038. Sino po kaya siya? Paki-change po natin yung inyong pangalan po. Di ba pwede tayo mag-rename ng pangalan natin dito? Para at least alam ko po kung paano kayo tatawagin. Babae po ba to or lalaki po ba ito? Pati po dun sa, di ba nagpapalagay po ako sa beneficiary tsaka list ng aking trainee today. Para at least alam ko po kung sino po yung aking mga trainee talaga na papasok sa oras na ito. So tayo po ay ilan lang po sa aking klase today. let us start with our class. So, nakapag-prayer na tayo. We've already had the netiquette. So, yung netiquette, palagi po natin yung pag-aaralan bago tayo magsimula ng ating lesson. Kasi ito yung proper na behavior natin once na tayo po ay nasa online class. Ano yung mga karapat-dapat na gagawin natin kapag tayo ay nasa online class? Naintindihan po ako?
Yes po.
Okay, so puntahan po natin ang inyong Neo LMS. Sa Neo LMS po, sino po si ako po yon? B20. Ano po ang pangalan ni ma'am? B2038 po.
Good morning po. Gemma Katakutan po.
Opo ma'am, pa-rename po yung pangalan ninyo para at least, opo, pagka, minsan kasi nag-recitation po ako, mahirap po kung sabihin, okay, ano po ang masasabi mo, B2038? Opo, baka sabihin po sa atin sa test na naka-coding si Ma'am Jovell, ano po? Mas mainam po na pangalan po natin yung gamitin po natin kasi we are all professional po once na tayo po ay nasa klase po natin. Okay po yun? Nakaintindihan po tayo. Pa-rename po ako, Ma'am Gemma Katakutan. Marami pong salamat. Okay, so once na tayo po ay nandito sa online class, so wala po tayong dapat i-worry na baka mapagtawalan ako pagka ako po ay sumagot. So open po tayo sa lahat ng magiging sagot ninyo. So wag po tayong mahiya kasi pagka nag-face-to-face na rin po tayo, lahat ng question ninyo, you could ask that to me nang harap-harapan na po tayo. Face-to-face po eh. So lahat po, kasi mahirap po na nandyan lang pala, may tanong po, naguguluhan kayo, hindi nyo pa po pala siya sinasabi sa akin during our online. Doon po kayo nagtanong sa GC, natabunan ko, hindi ko kaagad nasagot. Okay, kung may question po, dito nyo po agad, may pagkakataon, dito nyo po kaagad sa atin sa online class itanong. Kapag nag-face-to-face na, diretso nyo ang tanungin, ma'am, paano po pagka ganito? Okay, so sa klase ko po, pag nag-face-to-face, wala po akong, ayoko na nagsasayang ng ingredients. Hanggat maaari po, one by one po ako nagtuturo sa estudyante, sabay-sabay kayong gumagawa, pero minomonitor ko isa-isa kayo kung ano na po yung part na nagawa ninyo. Kasi once na umupo lang ako doon, hinayaan ko kayo, magsasabi ang natutunan ninyo sa akin. Nakaupo lang naman si ma'am, nagsa-cellphone po eh. Pero ang tanong, yung po bang baked goods ninyo ay na-bake o hindi? Na-bake po, pero palpak. Kasi hindi kami denied. That's why yun yung iniiwasan ko. Kaya nga kayo nag-train to be guided, to learn. Makapag-uwi kayo ng produkto na nagawa ninyo as a proof na kayo ay puntahan natin ang inyong Neo LMS. Lahat po ba alam na po mag-sign in dito?
Yes po.
Kay last name, tapos gumawa na po kayo ng sarili ninyong password. Last name and then first name. For example, Villanueva, Jovell, magiging username niyo. Tama po ba? Tapos may sarili kayong password.
Opo.
Okay, so dito po sa ating Neo LMS, so ano po yung mga dapat po ninyong, kasi may class batch 2. Sa batch 2 po natin, okay, so ano po ang mga dapat ninyong sagutan po dito? So dito po ay kailangan nating sagutan ng COVID-19 preventive measure in workplace. Then susunod po natin is, kailangan nyo rin pong i-open ito. Sa preventive, COVID-19 preventive po, open po natin ito. So naka-give na po siya. So pagka kinilik, nakikita po ba yung aking share screen?
Yes po.
Okay. Akin po share screen. So, ayan po yung inyong makikita dito. So, assignment po siya. Ang type niya po ay quizzes. Ang maximum score nito ay 32 po. So, kailangan niyo po siyang i-take later po para sa inyong asynchronous class sa NEO LMS. Then, for the orientation po, for sa student orientation po natin, ito po yung training induction program po. So, sa scholarship po, may tanong po pala ako, meron pa raw po palang hindi nakakapasok po dito sa ULMS. So, na-inform naman po kayo ng gagawin niyo, tama po ba? Kung ano po yung procedure na gagawin. Like for example, paano yung sa editing ng inyong password, paano niyo siya babaguhin. Meron pa raw po kasi hindi nakapasok dito sa ULMS natin.
Opo, ma'am. Ako po, hindi pa rin po nakaregister po.
Sino po itong, wait lang po
Hindi po.
sino po itong hindi pa po nakaregister?
Si Jose Jennifer po.
Si?
Si Jose Jennifer.
Opo ma'am, nakalagay po kayo as admin po. Pwede niyo po bang baguhin po yung pangalan niyo po?
Sa may NIO po.
Dito ma'am, kasi nakalagay po kayo as admin. Kayo po ba si Miss Jennifer?
Opo, opo.
So yung pangalan niyo po dito sa ating Zoom ay admin po?
Hindi ko po. Paano po baguhin, ma'am?
Click niyo po yung pangalan niyo po, tapos po i-rename niyo po siya.
Sige po.
Opo, palagay niyo po yung pangalan niyo po, yung apelyido niyo po, tsaka yung pangalan niyo po. Opo tayo. Kasi nakalagay po dito admin.
Opo. Yan, ma'am. Na-change ko na po, ma'am.
Okay po. Thank you po.
Salamat po.
Okay, so kayo po ay under ng skill training for employment po. Skill training for employment program. Kaya po tinawag kayo na under kayo ng STEP. Naintindihan po ba? Ito ay just to show you po kung ano yung mga meron po dito sa loob ng ating ULMS na kailangan niyo pong gawin kasi marami nagtatanong kayo na sa GC. First day natin, ano ba yung mga dapat gawin? Kaya ini-step by step ko po sa inyo ito. And then, of course, for the self-introduction po, you need to answer the self-introduction. So tell me about yourself. Kailangan nyo magsabi, ano ba, sino po, ano ang family name, first name at middle name. Magsasagot po kayo dito. Place and date, okay, and date of birth, home address, email address, father's name and occupation. Okay? Hindi siya nakatime. So, ibig sabihin, kapag ka po daw ito ay i-keep ko po siya para at least masasagutan niyo po siya. Naintindihan po ba?
Yes.
So, magsasagot po kayo sa COVID-19 preventive measure. Ito po yung unang dapat na sagutan ninyo. May certificate din po kayo makukuha dito. Then, the orientation para mas maliwanagan kayo para dun sa training induction program po. And then, for the student orientation, ito na nga po ang nilalaman ng student orientation. Student orientation, that is the PIP. Katulad po ito ng tinake ninyo kahapon. And then, for the forum, for the self-introduction, ito na yung tell me something about yourself. And then, for the forum, what is the importance of netiquette e-learning? Kailangan niyo siyang sagutin. As a e-learning student, what should you do? Okay, to keep you going against proper netiquette. Do you think your qualification course is still necessary to the new normal situation? What is the expectation in your training? So that is the forum. Sasagutin niyo po siya. So para magsagot, nakikita naman po ito, di ba? Edit. I-click niyo yung edit. I-keep ko rin po ito. May tanong, ma'am, paano po kaya yon? Kasi naka-apps ako. Hindi i-open sa Google Chrome, yung sa mismong web browser niya. Tatype niyo po yung phgist.neolms.com. Doon niyo po siya makikita. Para at least, tapos i-click niyo po yung desktop para po mas makita niyo siya. Pero mas maliit para lang po i-zoom in niyo, babanatin niyo lang po yung screen niyo para po at least makita niyo po ng mas malaki. Kasi pag dinestop niyo, maliit na po siya. And then, i-click ko rin po itong pretest para at least alam niyo po kung ano po yung mga dapat ninyong gawin. Magpi-quiz po kayo today, ha? Okay, so do you have question po, students? Alam na po ba kung paano po yung gagawin dito sa Neo LMS? Na-guide ko po ba kayo?
Yes, ma'am.
O don't forget to to screenshot the pictures. Tapos ito po yung mga magiging collage ninyo kasi ito yung tinapik po natin today, right?
Yes po.
Opo. Yun po yung importante
Yes, ma'am.
dun sa every meeting natin, meron po tayong collage. Even pag tayo po ay nasa face-to-face, may picture din po kayo ng collage. So, we're done with the COVID-19 orientation, student orientation, self-introduction, forum, and then pre-test. It is already been given. Then, pasok na tayo kay basic in workplace communication. So, may mga sasagutan po kayo dito, okay? Okay, so ano po ba muna ang participate in workplace communication? Just to give you an information and clear knowledge about this. So, ang workplace communication defined as the started required to follow routine, spoke message, perform workplace duties by following routine written notice, obtain and provide information, and respond to workplace requirements. Complete relevant work-related documents and participate in workplace meeting and discussion. So, paano ba yun? Paano ba tayo nakikipag-usap? How effective is our communication with each other? So, meron ba tayong pinag-uusapan na once na tumawag ako sa cellphone, pumapasok na ba ang communication doon?
Yes
Tandaan
po.
natin, yes. Ito yung ginagawa po natin ngayon na online class. This is also an example of communication. Naiintindihan po ba ako?
Opo. Yes po.
Yes, ma'am.
Pagka meron pong hindi clear sa tinatopic ni teacher, let me know po, ha. Okay. Dito daw po, sa obtain and convey workplace communication. So, kailangan niyo pong magbasa din dito sa Neo LMS natin. The effective communication. Okay, then, Compare your answer to the answer key. Ito yun. Read information sheet, different modes of communication. Okay, then you're going to answer also the self-check. Ibig sabihin, you need to read the module first and then answer the self-check. Chine-check mo sa sarili mo, ano ba or gaano ba kalalim yung naintindihan ko dun sa binasa ko na module. So, pagka nagsagot kayo, minsan, ma'am, all caps po yung kinakailangan dito. So, kailangan all caps yung sagot ninyo. Pero hindi ko masasagot sa inyo na, ma'am, sa number 1 to 5 po ba all caps yun? So, syempre, magsasagot kayo doon. Then, mag-check po yun sa inyo kung ilan ang tama at ilan ang mali ninyo. Puntahan natin ang information sheet 1-1, effective communication. So, what is the objectives of this module? The objective is to identify the effective communication skill. Avoid the common barriers of effective communication. So, paano daw po yun? Effective communication is about more than just exchange information. It should about understanding the emotion and intention behind the information, as well as being able to clearly convey a message. How do we convey a message? Paano ba natin i-relay yung message natin? So, sabi nga natin nung before, we convey the message through letter. Pinapadala natin sa post office. Tama po ba? Okay. Then, yung iba naman po, kahit sabihin natin ito ay land-based or ito ay international, we send a letter to our loved ones. Pangangamusta natin or may balita tayo na negative or positive, we convey through mail. Ngayon, meron na tayong tinatawag na email. In a seconds lang, matatanggap na po ng padadala natin yung email natin. Lahat pwede nating isend. Kumanta ka, isinend mo through mail. Sabihin natin, live, bakit ang kantahan? Pwede. Okay, so effective communication sounds like it should be instinctive, but all too often when we try to communicate with others, something goes astray. We say one thing, the other person hears something else, and misunderstanding. For many of us, communicating more clearly and effectively requires learning some important skill. Whether you're trying to improve communication with your spouse, kids, boss, or coworker, learning this skill can depend your connection to others. Common barriers to effective communication. Stress and out of control emotion. Na paano nangyayari ito? Sabi natin, when you're stressed or emotionally overwhelmed, you're more likely to misread other people. So, ibig sabihin, stress tayo. Minsan yung anak natin, mapapagalitan natin. Tama po ba? Mapapagalitan natin yung anak natin to the extent na minsan sumasama ang loob mo sa atin. Okay? Kailangan daw kung stress ka, kalmahin mo muna yung sarili mo bago mo kausapin. Kasi minsan nasisigawan natin yung asawa natin, nasisigawan natin yung kasama natin sa bahay na minsan nagugulat sila or minsan sumasama na ang loob nila sa atin. Bakit gano'n? Nadadala mo yung problema dito na galing ka sa labas or pagod ka, siguro inom ng tubig, kalmahin lang ang sarili. Lack of focus. You can communicate effectively when you're multitasking. If you're checking your phone, planning what you're going to do. So, ibig sabihin lang po natin, kailangan daw po tayong nasa focus. Kung ito ay multitasking, alam ko lahat yung ginagawa ko. Naintindihan po ba? Kasi paano ka nakikipag-communicate kung ikaw pala ay naglalaro ng ML? Ako ay nagkaklase tapos ako pala ay nakikipag-chat. Paano ba yun? Ako pala ay nagkaklase sa inyo tapos naglalaro pala ako ng match kissing letter dun sa cellphone ko. Naintindihan po natin? So, ibig sabihin, kailangan nakapokus tayo sa ginagawa natin. For example, meron akong kausap sa cellphone, then nag-multitasking ako kasi patungkol din sa task yun. And then ako din is nagka-class sa inyo. inconsistent body language. Nonverbal communication should enforce what is being said, not contradict. If you say one thing but your body language says something else, you're listening you're being dishonest. Ibig sabihin, kung ano yung ina-action ng katawan mo, dapat yun din yung ginagawa mo, sinasabi mo. Diba sabi natin, action speaks louder than words. Negative body language. Okay? Effective communication is become an paano natin gagawin yung engaged listener tayo? Didikit ka ba sa kausap mo? Or ibibigay mo lang yung all best mo just to tell the speaker na nakikinig ako sa iyo. Okay, then tips for becoming an engaged listener. Focus fully on the speaker. Favor your right ear. Avoid interrupting or trying to redirect the conversation to your concern. Show your interest in what being said. Try to set aside judgment. Kung ano yung sinasabi ng speaker, for example, naku si Ma'am Villanueva ay Bisaya pala. So, ibig sabihin, hindi ka na nakapokus dun sa dinidiscuss ko. Nakapokus ka na ano yung dialect ko, kung paano ako magsalita. Dun ka na nakatingin, dun ka na nakapokus. So, ibig sabihin, hindi mo iniintindi yung tinatopic natin. Ang iniintindi mo yung mga paano ako nagsasalita. Naiintindihan ako, trainee?
Yes po.
Okay. Pay attention to nonverbal signals. The way you look, listen, move, and react to other person tells them more about how you're feeling than words alone can ever. So, ibig sabihin, paano ba yung signal mo? Nag-wave ka, ibig sabihin, pag kumustahan ka, may iba akong kausap pero nag-wave ako sa inyo. So, ibig sabihin na, kinakamusta ko kayo or hi, welcome. Diba, usually, those are the non-verbal. Tumango ako sa iyo, hindi ako nagsalita. Pero, ibig sabihin ng pagtango ko is, oo. Tinanong mo, kumain ka na ba? Tumango ako. Ibig sabihin, kumain na ako. Or kaya naman, tumango ako, sige, mauna ka na. Kasi may tinatapos pa ako. Pero meron talagang time na minsan yung mga kasama natin sa bahay, alam niyo yon yung gusto nila, sinasagot niyo sila. Nangyayari po ba yun sa inyo? For
Opo.
example, yes, yung asawa niyo, yung anak niyo, ma, kain na tayo. Pagka hindi ka sumasagot, talagang hindi ka tigilan at hihilahin ka nila, di ba?
Yes
Yes,
po.
ma'am.
Nangyayari po yun. Okay, minsan yung atin namang mga hobbies, boyfriend, girlfriend, so minsan, hindi mo ako sinabaya, nakakatampo ka. Nangyayari yun?
Yes po.
Yes
Oo,
po, ma'am.
nangyayari yun kasi parang yun na lang yung time na bonding moments niya for about 15 minutes na kumain tayo, bonding moments na natin, pinagkait mo pa, usually gano'n. Pero syempre, napag-uusapan yun eh. Sorry naman kung hindi ako nakasabay kasi may tinapos akong ganito. But next time, hindi na mauulit yun. Diba? Usually ganyan para at least ma-peace natin at hindi na sumama yung loob ng mga partners natin, anak natin, kapatid. Okay?
Okay po.
So, syempre, you're going to answer this one. The self-check for the information sheet, effective communication. So, i-give ko siya para at least alam niyo po. So, that is a true or false po later. So, naka-give na po siya. For the information sheet natin, different mode of communication. For the different modes of communication, enumerate and explain the different mode of communication. What is a mode? Mode is a term used to describe the way something is done or experienced. When we use the phrase mode of communication, we are describing the way communication is expressed. Paano daw yan? We have the interpersonal communication, interpretative communication, and presentational communication. What is the interpersonal communication? Interpersonal communication is a two-way means of communication that allows participants to to evaluate and respond to each other. For example, the two people are speaking and listening to each other, either na face-to-face conversation or over the phone, are participating in interpersonal communication. So once pala tayo ay ito nag-uusap, we are doing the interpersonal communication. Naintindihan po ako?
Opo. Yes po, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Okay, the elements of this daw is the communicator. What is the message? And the noise. Okay, so nangyayari po talaga pala na may communicator. Tayo yung communicator, di ba? Then, may message tayong pinag-uusapan. Marites ba tayo? Hindi po, nagkaklase tayo. So, ibig sabihin, ang message ko ay dinidiscuss ko sa inyo ang participate in workplace communication. That is the message. Then, nangyayari din na may mga noises daw. Yung mga background noises sa paligid natin na naririnig natin. May kumahol na aso. Okay? Ingay ng ballpen na kinatap sa table. Those are the examples of the noise. Then, the feedback consists of the message that receiver returns, which allow the sender to know how accurately the message has been received. Select the receiver section. The receiver may also respond to the unintentional message. So, yung feedbacking naman natin, yung, ay bakit naging ganon? Di ba usually? Baga, ako yung nagsasalita, kayo ay sumasagot sa akin. That is the feedbacking. You do the feedback. Nagtanong ako, ganito po ba rin ang na-experience niyo? You do the answer, you do the feedback. Okay, the context, the channels, interpretative communication. The interpretative mode of communication gives learners opportunity to listen, to read, or view authentic materials. Learners demonstrate understanding of these materials. Okay, so on two levels, literal and interpretative. At the literal level, learners demonstrate that they can understand the surface meaning of the text. At the interpretative level, learners read between the lines to demonstrate that they can use their background knowledge and cultural understanding to provide more. Okay, so ibig sabihin, parang ito yung nag-text tayo, that is the interpretative communication. May sinend ako sa inyo na pictures, that is, ito po yung, di ba nag-interpretative ako. Ito po yung example ng collage picture. Ganito po yung kailangan ninyong i-send sa akin. So that is the interpretation. Naintindihan si ma'am?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay, presentational communication. Okay, another type of one-way communication. With this mode of communication, an individual is speaking to an audience or presenting a presentation in writing has no other means of engaging with the audience. May audience ako, I am a speaker. For example, sabihin natin is, ako ang host. Okay, ako ang host. Then meron akong mga listener. May audience ako. That is the presentational communication. So, na makikita nyo, this is the three modes of communication. Okay, then, puntahan natin ang another self-check. So, ito yung mga sasagutan ninyo ha, para dun sa time na allotted sa inyo for 11 to 2. Then, ma'am sa inyo, dahil naka-open po ang aking laptop. Then, puntahan natin naman ang modes of communication. Natapos na natin ito. I-give po siya para at least masagutan niyo po siya. So, this is a multiple choice. Maximum score is 5. This is the type of this assignment is a quiz. Sa multiple choice. Nakikita po ang sinusow ni Ma'am Jovell.
Opo, ma'am.
O lahat kayo makita nyo merong take a quiz. Okay, so next natin, we're going to move on to the written communication. For the written communication po, we're going to enumerate the different example of written communication, demonstrate the capacity to use various writing forms. So the written communication means the sending of message, orders of or instruction in writing through letters. So that is a written communication. So what is the importance of the written communication? Okay, in some way, effective written communication is even more important than spoken communication, unless it is being recorded. Regular speech does not last. However, written communication is a record. So nagsalita ako through verbal. Na-record mo, so you could keep that for yourself. Na-record mo yung sinabi ko, tama po ba? Pero yung sinabi natin na written communication, so ibig sabihin, ipaskill ko yan dito sa bulletin board, lahat pwedeng makabasa. Naintindihan po?
Opo.
The 5 C's of effective communication. That is the connection. Okay, again, this is the 5 C of effective communication. Tignan nga natin ano itong 5 C's na to. The connection is good written communication forms a connection between a reader and a writer. Clarity. Okay, so sabi natin, effective written communication is a clear and easy to understand. How clarify is the information written on that letter? Clarity, the cause or the reason for writing this. For example, the memorandum for the increase of the salary of the member of the employee of Villanueva Bake Shop. So clear po ba yung written communication ni Ma'am Jovell?
Yes po.
Clear yun kasi makalagay dun sa memorandum. The title is the memorandum, okay, 2-1. Okay, so sabihin natin, the increase of the salary of the employee, increase of the salary of the employee of Villanueva Bake Shop. So, conciseness, good written communication, stick to the point and just meander around or include lots of extraneous information. Correctness, to be effective, the written communication should use the correct tone. Okay, so what, when, where, usually how. Usually ganun di ba yung mga indication dun sa written communication. So magkakaroon ng meeting para sa pagtaas ng sahod ng mga empleyado ng Villanueva Bake Shop. Okay, so how to make your writing communicating effectively. Know your goals and state it clearly. Ano ba ang goal? Okay, magtataas ako ng salary. Use the correct tone for your purpose. The purpose is para yung mga empleyado ko is makabawi dahil sa pandemya. Keep language simple. Huwag mo nang laliman kasi ang mga magbabasa at kakausapin mo naman is mga empleyado mo. Wala ka namang dapat i-impress. Tama po ba? Keep the language simple. Stay on the topic and keep it concise. Use active voice. Have someone proofread your writing. Advantage of written communication. So the advantage of written communication, it is suitable for long distance communication. It creates permanent record. It gives the receiver sufficient time to think. It can use as legal document. It can be sent to many persons at a time. It's suitable for sending statistically data, charts, diagram, pictures, order allocation of works, job distribution, etc. in written forms to reduce ambiguity and help in fixation of responsibility. Uniformity in work procedure can maintain through the written communication. It is easily to send unpleasant or bad news through written communication. A good written communication can create goodwill and promote business. What is the disadvantage or limitation of written communication? Okay, it is a time consuming, right? Kasi susulat ka pa nito eh. Gusto mong ipamahagi ito sa ibang mga katao, ipapaprint mo pa. It is expensive. Okay, not so much due to postal charges. It cannot maintain strict secrecy. Written communication has no scope for immediate clarification. Being written in nature is less flexible and cannot be changed easily. Nakasulat na eh, hindi mo siya pwedeng baguhin kung may mali ka dito. So, kung may mali ka dito, like for example, wrong grammar ka dito, makikita lahat ng tao yun na pinaskill mo na siya 5 days ago. So, merong nga nag-comment na, hindi naman naintindihan yung sinasabi ni ma'am. So, syempre, napulaan ka pa doon. Alam mo yung term na napulaan. So, ibig sabihin natin nun, may sinabi pa silang negative with regards doon sa message mo. Ang dami ko pang student today. Ano po ang problema? May mga message daw dito sa GC natin. Okay? So, honestly, if you have work naman, di ba? So, yung iba kasi na may mga work ang ginagawa po nila, sa totoo is, naka-open din or naka-close lang yung cam nila, tapos minsan naka-headset sila kung nasa work sila. Nakikinig sila dito sa lesson natin. Tapos mag-open sila ng cam pag sinabi lang ni Ma'am Jovell, okay, may I ask all of you to open cam? We're going to have the picture. So nakakatapos po yung iba kong student. So kasi nga, ang daming nagsasabi because of the COVID, kaya sila nagkaroon ng chance na makapasok dito dahil before, kahit gusto nila, may work sila. Kaya sinasabi ko nga, napaka-bless ng mga natawagan para sa training. Kasi hindi lahat ng mga nagre-register sa link, sila ay natatawagan. Okay, so we're done with the written communication. So, syempre, mayroon tayong subject that is the 1.3. Naka-give na siya. Then, organizational policy. Going to give this also. For the organizational policy, what is this organizational policy? Okay, for the organizational policy, define the organizational policy, enumerate the purpose of the organizational policy. Ano ba to? What is the policy and procedure in the business? The company policy and procedure are essential part of given organization. These are employed to protect the rights of a company employee as well as the interest of the employer. So ito raw pala yung mga polisiya sa isang business firm. The purpose of the policy in the workplace. So, we have the so-called policy handbook. Lahat naman, di ba? Kapag nasa isang business firm tayo, nagtrabaho tayo, onorian tayo, meron kang policy handbook para at least alam mo kung ano yung negative, ano yung tamang gawin, ano yung maling dapat gawin, at ano yung parusa kapag mali yung nagawa mo. And then, of course, the uniformity. Okay, so ibig sabihin lang po natin dito, the employee rights and responsibilities, the important factors in maintaining harmony within the workplace. So ibig sabihin, pag nandito ka sa isang establishment, kailangan yung trabaho mo is maayos. Kailangan yung trabaho mo ay maganda, yung trabaho mo ay not, okay, sabihin natin, kung yung tinatrabaho mo sa dati mong pinanggalingan ay ganyan ang ginagawa mo, ibig sabihin, dapat dito, okay, dito sa trabaho mo na pangalawa, huwag mo na siyang gawin kasi iba yung owner nito, iba yung company na to, so hindi applicable dito yung ginagawa mong trabaho sa dati. Pero kung ito po ay makakatulong para mas ma-improve mo yung sarili mo dito sa bago mong trabaho, will do. Pero kung papangit ang impression sa iyo ng mga tao makakasama mo sa bago mong pinagtrabahuhan, huwag mo nang i-apply yung naging trabaho mo doon. Naintindihan po?
Yes po.
Next is we have here the best practice. Companies that had been running for several years eventually recognize what decision and action greatly affect the performance of the organization. So ibig sabihin, ang isang establishment daw is talagang merong bagsak ba taas. Meron talagang time na mababa ang sales, mataas ang sales. So, alam na at dapat gamay mo na kung paano mo iikutin ang business kapag ka ganito yung panahon. For example, pag August daw po ay mababa ang sales natin. So ano ang dapat mong gawin? Ano ba ang meron dito? Ano ba ang gusto ng tao tuwing August? So syempre, bukod sa tinda mo dapat, meron ka pa rin dapat ibang produktong tinda kapag ka ikaw po daw ay nandito sa, okay, pagka August ang day ninyo. Kasi kapag ka pinabayaan mo lang, talagang pwedeng malugi kayo sa buong buwan ng Agosto. Naintindihan po natin?
Yes
So
po.
dapat alam natin kung paano natin i-manipulate yung ating tindahan kapag ka alam natin na itong panahon na to mababa ang sales. Kasi ang tao is ganito, ano ba ang dapat kong idagdag na produkto para maging mabenta man lang. Kung hindi kinakagat ng tao by the August day yung aking mga tinda, ano ba ang mabenta for August? So yun ang idagdag ko. Next is we have the safety. Bear in mind that policy may also cover legal and ethical safety aspect of the organization, including the personal safety of the employee. Meeting legal requirements should be primary goals when developing a policy. This is especially important for companies running construction site, warehouse. Yung safety nito, ako po ba ay naka-insured? Nalaglag ako dito sa building na ginagawa, nabalian ako, hindi na ako nakalakad. Naka-wheelchair na lang ako, hindi pwedeng wheelchair lang ang ibibigay sa akin ng kumpanya. Kailangan po, kung sabihin natin na tinulungan niyo po ako, lahat dapat sagutin mo kasi naka-insured ako dito sa kumpanya ninyo eh. Then, di ba, usually kasama din sa insured or naka-insurance na, okay, kung may mangyari man sa akin dito, okay, may matatanggap ang pamilya ko na ganitong halaga at okay, mapag-aaral ang anak ko mula elementary hanggang college. Usually may mga ganun, di ba? Lalo na kung ikaw ay sabihin natin, ako daw po ay engineer at ako ay nalaglag. Hindi na ako nakalakad. So yun yung mga safety. Paano naman daw po pag tayo daw po ay nasa, sabihin natin, nasa bake shop. Okay? So hindi mo ginusto na maliyaban yung mukha mo nung habang nagsisindi ka ng oven. Kailangan sagutin ng kumpanya yung pagpapagamot mo. Naintindihan po natin?
Opo. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Different types of communication na. So ito yung quiz. Naka-give na rin po siya. Different. So for the communication procedure and system, puntahan nga natin ito. Naka-give na siya eh. So communication procedure and system. For this one, how are we going to enumerate the different type of communication system? Different type of communication system, how it is possible, how this idea and thoughts. Okay, so let us study the various type of communication system for the smooth flow of information between two parties. The optical communication. What is this? The optical stands for light. As the name itself suggests, optical communication system depend on the light as the medium of communication. In an optical communication system, the transmitter converts the information into an optical signal. And finally, the signal then reaches the recipient. The recipient then decodes the signal and responds accordingly in the optical communication. So that is under the optical communication. The radio communication system. So what is this radio communication system? The transmitter, with the help of the antenna, produces signal which are carried through the radio carrier. military. That is the radio communication system. The duplex communication system, the two, okay, what is this? The duplex communication system, two equipment can communicate with each other in both directions. Simultaneously, and hence the name duplex when you interact with your friends over the telephone, both of you can listen to each other at the same time. The sender sends the signal to the receiver who receives it, and then and also give this valuable feedback to the speaker for him to respond. That is a duplex. Telepono. Nakakapag-usap tayo. That is the duplex communication system. Half duplex communication. Both the two parties can communicate simultaneously. The sender has to stop sending the signal to the recipient, and then only the recipient can respond. Katulad nun, di ba? Bago ka hindi may pinipindot pa sa gilid. Di ba parang sabihin niya, nakakarinig po ba ng ganito sa mga komando? Bravo 561, can you hear me? Tapos sasagot naman sila doon. So ibig sabihin, hindi naka-open, hindi siya parang telepono na kamusta ka? Kamusta ka din? Di ba dalawa, that is the duplex communication. Pag sinabing half duplex, hindi kayo sabay makakapag-usap. Naintindihan si ma'am?
Opo.
Naintindihan po ako? So ibig sabihin po natin, nakakapag-usap po daw tayo, pero sasagot siya, Alpha, this is Bravo. Can you hear me? So sasagot, yes, Alpha, this is Bravo. I can hear you. What is the status at that area? Bravo, the status is we need more, di ba? More military. Naintindihan si Ma'am Jovell?
Yes po.
Okay, let's move on to the tactical communication system. Another mode of communication is the tactical mode of communication. This is the mode of communication varies according to the change in the environment, according a condition and other situation. All the above modes of communication work for the common objectives to transfer the information from one party. Okay, so sabi natin dito, the various models of communication system help us to understand the roots of the follow information from the sender to the recipient through the some medium. So kailangan yung sagutan nito ha, the types of communication system. So nag-give ko na siya. Simple spoken language. For the simple spoken language, identify the different features of spoken language. Paano daw to? Spoken language is just as it sounds. It's language that is spoken. Spoken language features is adjacency pair. So, ano ang example daw nito? How are you? And the natural response is fine. How are you? So, that is the adjacency pair. The back channel, example is, okay, uhu. Diba, usually ganyan, that is the back channel. Uhu, so, ibig sabihin, I see. Ibig sabihin, okay, aha. Ibig sabihin nun, diba usually may mga kids ngayon, ang anak ko nga, uhu, may ganun siya. Uhu, may ganun siya. Sabi ko, ano ba yung, nakikita ko yung meron siyang chat na friend niya from other country. So, yun, ganun sila. I don't know. IDK, yun yung mga terms nila ngayon. So, sabi ko, millennials na talaga, no? So, she's only 9 years old, pero ganun na siya makipag-usap. Pero tayo, dito sa back channel, aha, yun ang ibig sabihin natin is I see. Or, okay, di ba, ganun tayo pagka merong sinasabi sa atin yung kausap natin. Sabi mo, oh, I see. Okay, Dixie, ano naman ito? The Dixie is involve a person, for example, he, a place, the here, specific time, then. Other example of this, there, and that. That is for the Dixies. Ano ba to? This involve the use of words that can't be understood without context. Words that fall within these features. Okay? So sa person, he or she. A place. Here. Okay, place here. Specific time, then. Other example includes this, there, and that. Discourse markers. Okay? So the discourse markers is first and foremost, I would like to say good morning to each one of us. Okay, in the other hand, okay, so you don't need to buy anything. Diba? I'm just citing example for the discourse markers, student or trainee. Okay, on the other hand, you don't need to buy anything, okay, to finish this class, grade and face the production. So you are all scholars, so you need to focus on what are we going to do for the face-to-face. So you individually bake some cakes, some petit fours, some tarts, and some breads. Furthermore, okay, I would going to ask you some of the feedbacks with regards to what you did. Naintindihan ng discourse markers, students or trainee?
Yes po.
Okay, elision. This involves the combining of words. Okay. So yung elision is ibig sabihin they would or would, should, shouldn't, wanna or want to. The hedge is perhaps, possibly, and sort of. The accent is ano yung accent natin sabi by region. That is the accent. The dialect natin is dialect natin from other local countries or local places. Fillers, items which do not carry conventional meaning but which are inserted in speech. Ear. Wala siyang mga meaning pero nasasama siya dun sa salita or nasasama siya sa conversation. Dialect, okay, individually distinctive style of speaking. Okay, so puntahan na naman natin ang practice in workplace. Ano daw po ang meron dito sa learning outcome 3? Participate in workplace. Ano po ba ito? So, dapat daw po ay, okay, so the learning outcome po, content nito ay perform routine workplace duties following simple written notice, participate in workplace meeting in discussion, ability to relate to people, social range in the workplace, gather, provide information in response to workplace requirements. What is the criteria? Team meetings are attended on time, own opinion are clearly expressed, and those of others are listened to without interruption. Meeting input are consistent with the meeting purpose established protocol. Workplace interaction are conducted in a courteous manner. Questions about simple routine, workplace procedure, and matters concerning working condition of employee are asked and responded. So, puntahan na nga natin ang information sheet 1 natin. So, meron tayo dito, perform routine. So, this is the self-check. Let us check first ano ba itong self-check ninyo. So, this is a true or false. Maximum score niya ay 5. So, naka-give na po siya. po ah. Sumagot na po kayo ng sumagot dito kasi pagka huli kayong nagsagot dito, matatabunan po kayo ng mga, matatabunan talaga ano po. Kayo po ay dadami yung sasagutan ninyo. To the extent na ma'am, hindi ko na po nasagutan, na nag-lockdown na po ako ng mga dapat sagutan. Yes po.
Pwede na po sagutan.
Mamaya pa ma'am, after po ng ating asynchronous, mayroon po kasi kayong asynchronous, doon po kayo magsasagot na.
Okay, ma'am.
Opo, kasi ngayon ay oras ng ating discussion. That's why, kapag ka ganito ma'am, makikinig tayo sa discussion ni ma'am, then mayroong time po na magsasagot kayo for the given time. Ma'am, hindi ko natapos kasi may emergency akong pinuntahan. Hanggang gabi naman po ako nag-check po. Basta within this day, masagutan niyo po yung mga kailangan sagutan. I-PM ako kung hindi po, ma'am, meron po akong hindi naintindihan. Pakitulungan naman po ako. Ma'am, hindi ako makaano. Tumatawag po ako ha. Usually kasi ang hirap mag-explain once na tayo po ay nagsa-cellphone. Tapos nagsasagutan lang tayo. Minsan sabi ko nga, sige ma'am, tawagan kita so I could easily explain to you what are you going to do. Doon po sa for example, sa assignment nyo, saan mo na lang dapat siya isulat kung hindi talaga siya mag-open. Siyempre, I'm your trainer or instructor. So, madali ko po kayong masasagot. Kaya nagda-direct tawag na po ako sa estudyante.
Share lang po.
Yan, ma'am. Okay, puntahan muna po natin itong information sheet. Perform routine workplace duty following simple written notice. So what is the objectives of this? Appreciate the importance of written notice. Enumerate the advantage of written notice. So, puntahan natin. Putting your rules and standard of conduct in writing does have several advantage. They are formalized and you can ensure that all employees are getting the same information. You can refer to the rules when an employee commits an infraction. If you don't have any written policy, you'd have to rely on your money or of a discussion you had about your policy. You can document all employees know the work rules because you can make sure they sign a receipt after getting a copy of the rules. Importante po ba yon? For example, sabihin natin, ma'am, bago po akong empleyado rito. So, importante po ba na kailangan alam ko yung rules ng isang po ako nitong nakalista?
Opo, dapat po alam.
Bakit po, ma'am? Ano po ba yung purpose nito?
Para po maintindihan po kung ano po talaga ang rules ng isang company.
Okay, tama po. Thank you po, Ma'am Annalisa. The use of handbook to communicate your policy. Employee handbook are a way of ensuring that all employees are aware of your rules. But they can cause major legal problem. Bakit na po? A handbook is a publication designed to communicate your work policy to your employee. If you have very few employees and only a few policies of a simple list of general rules, a handbook is probably not necessary. However, if you have a complicated policy and procedure, you may want to create a formal handbook to ensure your employees understand what is expected of them. The types of workplace responsibility. Unang-una is we have here the job-specific responsibility. Each employee in a company, whether hourly or salary, at the entry-level position of a upper management, operates daily based on a specific job description for their position. It is the employee's responsibility to perform the duties of the position to the best of their abilities while adhering to company policy. So, ibig sabihin daw po, lahat daw po, ikaw man ay hourly, ikaw ay sabihin natin ay nasa lower position, upper management position, you need to follow the specific responsibility as a employee. Naintindihan po? Personal performance accountability. Another general responsibility for all employees is owning up to mistake and being held accountable for your action. Kung nagkamali ka, huwag ka nang magturo ng ibang tao na dapat sisihin. Rather than putting the blame on co-workers or making excuses, employees who accept responsibility for their mistakes or poor judgment become positive asset of the organization. So, ibig sabihin, acceptin mo na lang, ako po yung may mali. Wala pong may ibang may kasalanan. Nasa jurisdiction ko po nung nangyari yon. Ako aakuin ko lang. So, ano man ang nangyari, ano man ang outcome nung pag-amin mo na yon, wala kang magagawa. Aminin mo man siya o hindi, ikaw talaga yung may gawa. So, i-claim mo to. Once na hindi mo siya i-claim, hahabulin ka ng konsensya mo. Tapos, pag sinabi natin, naging normalize na sa'yo yon, at the end, pwedeng makasuhan ka kapag palaging ibang tao yung sinisisi mo sa pagkakamali mo. Clear tayo dito?
Clear po. Opo.
Okay, managerial oversight and leadership. A manager's primarily responsibility is to keep their team or department on track to meet goals and measure up to the company standard. A good manager is always responsible for developing the skills and performance quality of the employee under their supervision. By offering feedback, training, and opportunities for advancement, the manager creates a positive work environment and commitment to the company. So, tama naman. Kapag ka ang manager mo is magulo, magulo lahat. Pero kapag ka ang manager mo is maayos, lahat hanggang sa pinaka mababa or lower management employee, maayos. Provision for a safe workplace. By regulation of the U.S. Department of Labor, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration or OSHA requires that all employees provide for the safety of their workers. Workplace environment must meet OSHA to use post sign reminding workers of the safety protocol, providing regular safety trainings, and keep records of work-related injuries or illness. Handling of financial obligation. Pati ba yun, ma'am, kailangan namin malaman dito? Yes. Bakit at gaano ba ka-importante ito? Kasi sabi natin sa routine workplace duty, kailangan alamin mo lahat bukod sa work policy, kailangan bukod sa routine duties ng isang empleyado, pati yung handling of financial obligation, dapat alam mo din ito. Some employees, particularly those in accounting or payroll department, are responsible for correctly handling of finances of the company. Careful attention to accurate record keeping is important as well as following standard accounting and business practice. So, ibig sabihin, sila yung mga nagpapasahod sa atin. Naintindihan po ba?
Yes po.
Okay. So, yung self-check nito, i-give ko na po. Sabi nila, ang daming sasagutan. Yes, this is for your asynchronous. Naintindihan po ba natin?
Opo.
Next natin. Participate in workplace meeting in discussion. Paano ba to? Paano ba natin to gagawin? Ano ba ang objectives natin? Appreciate the importance of participating in workplace meeting and discussion. Determine the effective meeting procedure of a workplace. Okay, for the introduction, every workplace will have a staff meeting, team meeting, formal and informal discussion. When a businesses place a proper value on the on the time spent by people preparing for attending meeting. It is quickly seen that they are very expensive exercise. However, have you ever been to one of these meetings where no objectives were met? So, ibig sabihin, kapag may meeting daw po, dapat mayroong objectives. Dapat daw po may pag-uusapan. Mahirap naman na pumunta lang kayo dito, ano ang agenda? Naintindihan po ba? Some basic expectations are the clearly defined purpose of the meeting. Advise people of the meeting in time for them to be able to attend. Set an agenda. Start and finish on time. Tama po, pag sinabi mong 1 to 2 o'clock ang meeting natin, dapat within the 2 o'clock tapos kayo. Start and finish on time. Manage the participant. Paano mo i-manage yung participant? Kung sino yung mga kinakailangan lang talaga sa meeting, siya lang talaga yung papuntahin natin. Naintindihan po ba?
Opo.
6 tips on how to participate in meeting. Be prepared. Palagi naman yan. Kailangan may sandata ka din dala. Ano ba yung may sandata pang sinasabi? Paano kung tawagin ka, dapat alam mo. Kunyari, ikaw ang supervisor. Dapat alam mo ano ang nangyari. Ma'am Jovell, ano ang nangyari during the time? Meron daw pong incident sa inyo. Dapat alam mo yun. Okay? Kasi magre-report ka eh. You should be prepared. Pick your battles. If someone makes an error or you disagree with him, think before you speak. Sabi, pick your battle. Kailangan ko bang magkomento sa sinasabi ni Ma'am Jovell or nag-agree ako? May mali ba siya sa sinabi or tama lahat ng sinabi niya? So you need to think before, di ba? Pick your battle. Contribute. Okay, so sabi natin, sa isang meeting, you need to contribute. Choosing your timing. Don't be the first one to comment. Kasi baka sabihin, ikaw yung nagyayabang ka, kaya ikaw yung kahit parang yung sinasabi mo or kinakomento mo is sa napakasimpleng bagay lang naman. So, kung talaga namang kakomento ang isang tinapik sa inyo, that is the time. Pero yung sabihin natin na nag-comment ako, pero hindi naman pala siya ganong kakritikal, diba? Baka mamaya, mas mapasama ka. Ang bakit ako mapapasama pag nag-komento ako? Siyempre, pwedeng magkasamaan kayo ng loob ng taong binigyan mo ng komento. Okay? Don't dominate. Okay? Even you have several valuable questions and comments that contributes to the meeting, don't dominate the discussion. After you make a point, wait for the others to chime in. They might make more points. Okay? You were going to add. So, ibig sabihin, kapag nakapag-comment ka na, meron ka nang nasabi, okay na yun. Huwag yung ikaw lahat. Paano naman ang iba? Gusto rin magsalita ng iba, magbigay ng information. Kumbaga, parang lahat na ng gusto nilang i-comment, ikaw na lahat ang nag-comment, parang baka mamaya mayamot sa'yo or baka mamaya kasamaan ng loob ng mga kasamahan mo yung ginagawa mong attitude. We have now the self-check. Every module you need to read and then you answer the self-check. For the self-check, this is also a true or false. Maximum score is 10. Basta take a quiz kayo ha. Take a quiz para at least makapagsagot kayo. May nangyari daw na, ma'am, bakit hindi ako makapag-take a quiz? Okay, so you need to inform me. Baka kasi hindi ko pa siya nag-give. Okay, next is ability to relate to people's social range in the workplace. So apply proper way of developing a strong relationship with people in the workplace. Determine the different interpersonal skills. Interpersonal skills are also known as the social skills. The process of using social skills is called socialization. So, ibig sabihin, the interpersonal skills is the process of socialization. We all learn socialization skill at the early age. Before we could even talk, okay, we were learning socialization skill from the caregiver around us in the workplace. Social skills are also known as interpersonal skills. Okay, so here are the 7 interpersonal skills tips that will help you develop a strong relationship and get along great with people in the workplace. Managing relationship. You spend a lot of time with people at your workplace. If you are a full-time employer, you can expect up to 40 or more hours a week with your coworkers. You can begin to understand why it is so important to have good relationship with your coworkers. Bakit daw po? Bakit importanteng meron kang managing your good relationship with your co-employee? Anyone po sa aking mga estudyante, bakit ba siya mahalaga? Mahalaga ba siya? Importante po ba siya? Gaano po siya ka-importante? Anyone?
Ma.
Yes po, Miss Arandelia Justin.
Okay po. For me po, sobrang importante po ng relationship, especially po sa workplace po. Kasi po, once na nagkaintindihan po yung co-employee mo or yung manager mo, mas madali po kayong magkaroon ng communication and mas madali po kayong mag-share ng ideas or knowledge. Hindi kayo magkakahiyaan. Ganun. So, kailangan niyo din pong mag-build ng relationship.
Okay, thank you so much po.
Thank you po.
Ano? Kakainan. Kakainan mo. Mami. Okay. Wait lang po ah. Okay. So, tama po yung sanagot ni Ma'am Jaslyn. Tama po ba ako ng pronounce ng pangalan niyo, Ma'am Jaslyn?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay. So, kailangan talaga yung managing relationship natin, hindi lang kay boss ka magandang pakikisama. Kailangan po tayo ay makikisama din, hindi lang sa boss, hindi lang sa kanya tayo didikit, di ba? Sabi natin sinasabi, didikit daw. So, ang sabi natin, hindi po pwede na didikit po ba ako ng didikit kay boss para mas makilala po ako? Hindi po. Ang ibig po nating sabihin, ang ibig po nating sabihin, yung managing relationship natin, kailangan is maganda. Whether ito ay guard, maintenance lang nitong kumpanya natin, lahat pakisamahan natin ng maganda. Kasi hindi lang, di ba sabi nga, no man is an island. Understanding the feelings of others. Guys, ulitin ko, tayo po ay naka-YouTube live ha. So, if you want to replay this, balikan nyo to, pwede po. Yung dinidiscuss ko rin sa inyo ay ang ating ULMS. For example, ma'am, naka-slide po ako, naka-PowerPoint ako. Galing din sa ULMS yung tinatopic ko po ha. Okay, do you have question po, guys? Wala po? Opo. So, dun sa klase natin 7 to 8, may LMS po kayo nun. For example, meron kayong hindi natapos nung ngayon, tapos i-continue niyo siya bukas ng 7 to 8. Then we're going to meet again 8 to 11 o'clock tomorrow for another topic na po. Naiintindihan po si ma'am?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes po.
Yes. Nalilinawan na po ba kayo sa mga dapat gawin dito sa NEO-LMS?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Understanding the feelings of others. So, lagi natin sinasabi, di ba? Put yourself to the shoes of others. Put yourself, yung empathy ba? Yung empathy doon na malungkot siya, nagtatatawa ka pa dyan. So parang ibig sabihin nun, dapat dadamayan mo ba siya? Hindi mo siya dadamayan na iiyak ka din. Bibigyan mo siya ng mga magagandang word of wisdom. Hindi, alam mo yung tipong kausapin mo lang siya in a friendly manner. Napaka ano na nun. Okay? Napakasarap na sa pakiramdam kung yung katrabaho ay may problema, pumasok siya, malungkot siya, kausapin mo lang siya, o kamusta ka, ganito, ganyan. Pero ano na, positive dapat lahat ang sasabihin mo sa kanya. Okay? Pero pag sinabi natin na understand the feelings of others. Okay? So dapat alam mo din po kung ano ang ikikilos mo kapag kakausap mo itong tao na to. Madamdamin itong tao na to, so dapat hindi ako masyadong hard pagka nagsalita. Dadahan-dahanin ko lang kung paano ako makipag-usap sa kanya. Naintindihan po ba?
Opo.
Oo, okay?
Yes po.
Cooperating with others. Tama po, yung paano nakikipag-cooperate sa ibang tao. Having a great attitude. Yan ang napaka-importante. Having a great attitude. Okay. Having a great attitude. Showing respect. Ito yun kung para magawa mo lahat yung pinag-uusapan natin, ang pinaka-main po is respeto. Balikan natin yung number 1, managing feelings of others, cooperating with others, having a great attitude, showing respect. When you show respect to one's, okay, or to your co-employee, ibig sabihin, nagre-respeto ka sa kanila. Lahat ng mga nabanggit from 1 to 4 is magagawa mo. Naintindihan po ba?
Yes
May
po.
question tayo? Wala po tayong question. Okay, so self-check 3.3. Isa-isa ko po ito. Given siya ng 944. Next natin, gather and provide information. Gather and provide information tayo. Gather, provide information in response to workplace requirements. Okay. So dito daw po, ang learning objectives natin is to identify the different ways to improve collecting data in the workplace. Identify the different ways to take note on a meeting. So dito daw po ay 7 different things. Here are the 7 different things you can do to improve how you collect data in the workplace. Review existing documents. Unang-una, we need to review the existing documents. Find ways to encourage written feedback. So, syempre, kung restaurant tayo, magpi-feedbacking tayo. How is the food, ma'am? How is it? How is the ganito? How is the ganyan? Okay, so, syempre, may answer lang doon ng yes or no. Puro yes lang ang sagot. Tapos dito, suggestion, comment and suggestion po sa baba. Pag sinabi niyo, okay, your waiters do, okay, your waiter is awful. May sinagot na gano'n. So, tatanungin mo, sino po kaya yung waiter ng guest na to? Kung hindi mo makita, you're going to, okay, to proceed to the counter. O, sino ang waiter assigned para sa table 10? May ganun po Kasi during the time that before kasi bago ako magturo, ang trabaho ko po is industry worker po ako. Bartender po ako, kitchen helper po ako, food checker sa isang hotel, tapos naging waiter po ulit ako. So yun po yung mga naging work ko before. So branch secretary ng isang motor shop business. So yun yung mga trabaho ko before. Pero dito sa feedbacking na to, dito ko nakita din talaga sa kung malalaman kung kaninong table to, sino ang nagbabantay na waiter sa table na to. Kasi ako ang nagpa-punch ng order. So ibig sabihin may security code ako. Pag pinasok ko yung pangalan, yung order ko doon, lalabas yun, tapos ang waiter is ako. So doon makikita doon na bakit kaya sinabi na awful yung waiter namin. Natapat sa akin, ano ba ang nangyari? Bakit sinabihan ka ng ganito ng naging guest mo sa table 10? Sagot natin doon is meron ba akong nagawang mali? So, parang ikaw mismo kapay mo sa sarili mo, may mali ba akong nagawa? May tama ba akong nagawa? So, sa kanyang feedback, tanong ko, pwede bang tanungin ang guest dun sa feedback niya? Diba hindi natin sila pwedeng tanungin bakit yun ang feedback nila sa atin? Kaya nga tayo nagpapa-written feedback dun sa mga nagiging customer natin is for us to improve yung ating mga trabaho. Diba? Yun lang naman yun eh. Papa-feedback tayo para at least mas ma-improve. Have your data collection team observe? Observation is underrated techniques for collecting data in the workplace. You can gather a lot of facts about your company by observing how things unfold during project or events. This is a non-intrusive way to collect data while all the moving parts of your company are in action. While it can take a while to collect data through observation, it's easy than getting people to participate in an interview. Observation can be effective techniques to find way to help increase efficiency around the office. Challenge existing assumption when deciding what data to collect. One of the most constructive things you can do when collecting data is using the result to help your company improve when deciding what data to collect. And try and avoid making assumptions about why the way things are in your company. Instead, use data to back up your assumption and find areas where you can make improvements. So ito lang naman yung pinag-uusapan natin dito eh. Diba? Sabi natin, gather and provide information in response to workplace requirements. Bakit po ba tayo nag-gather na information? For the improvement ng kumpanya, improvement ng empleyado. To prepare to take action in survey results. Establish confidentiality. Find ways to make data collection part of ongoing process. Meron tayong nagiging mga empleyado na sila ay nadadagdagan ng, sabihin natin, tumataas ang rate nila, tumataas ang posisyon nila, kasi maganda yung pinakikita nila sa kumpanya. Meron naman na bumababa ang posisyon. Bakit? Kasi, sabihin natin, nade-demote. Kasi yung nagiging trabaho nila kuminsan is okay na, iiba na. Okay, participate in workplace meeting discussion. So, naka-give na rin po ito. So, we're done with the basic participate in workplace communication. So, unang topic natin is information sheet. Info sheet 1. Natapos natin to. Tapos, pumunta na tayo dito kay learning outcome, complete relevant work. Complete relevant work related documents. We're done with this. Okay. Puntahan natin ang learning outcome for complete relevant work related. Okay, appreciate the importance of technology in a workplace. Enumerate the different benefits of having technology in a workplace. Okay, in a particular human resource leader and facilities managers are feeling the burden of these rapid changes and are easily vulnerable to this impact. Keeping a workplace up to date and profitable requires technology tools such as IWMS software to help business leaders stay relevant by using technology in an effective way. What is the 5 ways technology in the workplace has improved the modern work environment? Efficiency and increased productivity. Okay, the modern workplace has experienced a complete shift on how we spend our time. Time management has been optimized and the effort puts into everyday tasks had been enlightened. Employee productivity and effort had been improved. So ano ba ang pinag-uusapan natin dito sa efficiency and increased productivity? Paano ba? Magtatawag ako ng aking mga training. Paano ba natin mapapakita yung efficiency and increased productivity natin? Okay, tawagin natin si Ma'am Marisa Fable. Kunyari, if you are one of the employee, paano mo may papakita yung efficiency at saka increase of productivity mo?
Unang-una, syempre dapat Kaya mo mapapakita yun, yung the way na lagi ka ring present, hindi ka nalilate sa trabaho. Then at the same time, pagpasok mo, alam mo na dapat yung mga basic procedure in the morning, like yung preparation pa lang. Sa umaga, dapat ready ka na rin doon to face the new responsibilities for the operation of the day.
Okay, tama po. Maraming pong salamat, Ma'am Marisa Afable. Okay, increased collaboration. Dito daw sa increased collaboration, technology in the workplace has given up as a level of communication. Okay, never seen before. We can literally connect to any one of our employee, leaders, and co-workers anytime, anywhere. With this dramatic increase in collaboration comes a heightened level of flexibility in communication, allowing co-workers to facilitate continue individual may be. Teamwork is much more engaged and boosted to a whole new level. So, ibig sabihin, katulad niyan, mag-groupings ako sa inyo. Paano ba yung increase ng collaboration? So, ibig sabihin, pumapasok dyan yung teamwork, tulungan. Nakikipag-collaborate ako sa inyo. For example, magiging ka-groupmates ko si Ma'am Annalisa, si Ma'am Jennifer Diose, si Ma'am Katakutan Gemma. Tapos nagko-collaborate kami ng mga alam namin. For example, ang sabi ko sa inyo, sabi ng teacher sa inyo, o kailangan maggawa kayo ng sarili ninyong recipe. Ay, given na yung recipe sa inyo, pero using that recipe ng bread, kailangan meron kayong mai-provide sa akin na dalawang flavor ng tinapay. Dahil meron na kayong base na dinnerol, ano pa yung pwede ninyong gawin sa dinnerol? Ma'am, pwede bang pandinyog? Pwede po. That is one. Okay? Okay? And then, sinabi ng isang ka-groupmate, si Ma'am Jennifer Diose, si Ma'am Katakutan, sinabi niya, Ma'am, pwede ba ang sabi natin, pandinyog, o sinabi ni Ma'am Jennifer Diose, pwede po bang Spanish bread? By the use of that dough na pang dinnerol, nakagawa kayo ng dalawang variety. So, ibig sabihin, nag-collaborate kayo. Naintindihan si Ma'am?
Yes po.
Kasi lagi nga, kanina ko pa sinasabi, no man is an island. Hindi pa pwede na isang para sa inyong lahat. Kailangan magtanong din ako sa inyo. Ano ba yung maganda? May idea ka ba? Ganun po yun, ha?
Opo.
Next, improve cost management. The bottom line of to achieve profitability. With the advent of technology in the workplace comes an encouraged productivity in finance. Business are much more fiscally healthy as a result of innovative technology, equipment, and software entering the office scene. Employees are encouraged to optimize their time thanks to such technology. A lot less time is wasted and a lot more time used to hone in the profitability task in hand. Okay, so improve cost management. Ano daw yun? Katulad yan, for example, sa paghuhugas. Di ba meron na tayong electric dishwashing machine? May ganon. So, ibig sabihin, nilalagay mo na lang po dun yung mga, mahuhugasan na siya, yung mga spoon and fork, glass. Pero, may sinasabi sila na quality daw po dito. Is kuminsan, hindi maganda yung hugas sa baso pagka daw po nandun sa dishwashing machine. Okay? So, ang nangyayari daw po kuminsan is ang labo ng baso. Diba? Minsan sa mga fast food chain, nakita nyo, bakit ang labo ng baso? Yung pala, yun yung ginagamit nila, lalo na kung plastic yung baso. Kasi sabay-sabay yan pagka hinugasan. Sa isang layer, yung kutsara, sa isang layer, yung plato, sa isang layer, yung baso. Kasi masasayang din naman yun. Di ba sabi nga, improve cost management tayo. Paano mag-i-improve cost management kung sa isang slot mo, sabihin natin 5 litro agad ng tubig yung nirelease mo doon. Ang hinugasan mo lang 5 baso. Di dapat naghugas ka na lang din sa lababo, di ba? Kung ganun din pala ang magiging gastos mo. Naintindihan si ma'am? So gumagamit na tayo ng technology equipment para mas mapabilis yung trabaho natin. Okay? So sa ibang bansa nga daw para dahil nga 'di ba nag-pandemic tayo, ang ginagawa daw nila, machine na lang ang kausap nila o kaya yung robot, pipindutin lang nila yung order nila dun sa robot na nakatayo dun sa minsan sa labas or sa may pinaka-dining area, nakapila yung tao doon. Tapos kukunin na lang nila doon, naka-ready na yung order nila sa counter. Ibig sabihin, wala talaga interaction with person yon. Tapos every hour, sinasanitize nila yung robot ng touchscreen. Dati sa hindi ko alam kung Japan ba yung napanood ko. Na lang siya parang nung nanonood ako ng YouTube, na parang na-advertise lang siya, parang ganun. Okay, heightened level of security. The security of a company information can be severely compromised without the implementation of proper channel of technology and software. Just as savvy hacker are using technology, heightened level of security. So, di ba ang dami ngayon may mga nagwo-work from home? So, ang sabi nila sa work from home daw, minsan may nahahack na account. Kasi syempre, yung pagta-transfer daw po nitong computer, nahahack. Yung iba naman po, ang dami din lumalabas ngayon Kung makikita ninyo, may mga tumatawag daw. Na-experience niyo ba yon? May tumawag daw or merong nag-message na we are hiring for today as sabi natin sa call center yata yung hiring na yon. Tapos hindi mo alam kung saan nila nakuha yung information mo na yon kasi baka mamaya virus yon o kaya naman baka mamaya pagka nag-message ka sa kanila na confirm with your name, contact number, email address, okay, to verify if you're going to attend sabi natin, the examination for you to have this work, diba? Work opportunity. So, syempre, ikaw naman, wala kang trabaho, sumagot ka. Lahat yung laman ng credit card mo. May ganun po Kasi ako tsaka yung sister ko, nasendan kami niyan. Wala naman akong ina-applyan na call center today. Pati yung sister ko, she's employed in one of the call center businesses. Sabi niya, bakit kaya? Paano kaya nila nalaman? Ang sabi daw po, yung mga pagsasagot daw, nabalita to yesterday kagabi. Dahil daw sa pagsasagot sa mga contact tracing daw na papel, kaya daw nakukuha yung contact number natin. But the question is, makikita ko naman yung ibang sumasagot dun sa papel, minsan hindi na nga mabasa yung number doon. Yung mga sumasagot. Kaya sabi ko, it's either, baka naman sa mga, alam niyo sa Facebook, di ba meron doon? Join po kayo sa ganito, join po kayo sa ganyan. So, syempre, minsan, needed lang ay email address mo. So, minsan sa email address, pagka kinilik mo yon, meron minsan naka-attach na contact number ninyo, right? Yes. Kaya minsan yung level of security natin, kasi usually ginagamit natin ang cellphone number natin or email address natin para makapasok tayo sa isang tama po. Baka doon nila nakukuha yung number natin. Kaya ako sabi ko, avoid ko na yung minsan merong kailangan akong documents tapos may needed na email address. So sabi ko, it's either I'm going to buy na lang yung software na kailangan ko sa mga, sabi natin, di ba sa mga mall, meron sila sa mga national bookstore, merong mga book, ang mga CD na may kasamang book, doon na lang siguro ako bibili. Kasi nakakatakot ilang beses ako naka-receive ng text message na you are, di ba, sabi we are hiring today. So, fill up this form for you to pursue to part 2 of application. May ganon. So, meron na bang naka-receive sa inyo ng ganong uri ng text message? Hoping wala kasi delikado, nakakatakot talaga. Okay, so next natin, a better employee experience. as a better employee experience, ano ba to? Ano ba yung nararamdaman natin? Sabi dito, well, technology in the workplace is just one factor that contributes to an employee overall experience. It is a significant one. Research by Jacob Morgan found companies that invest heavily in the employee experience earn more than 4 times the average profit of twice the average revenue compared to those that didn't. Technology shape, an organization culture and influence how employee interact with the physical workspace, and employee today expect technology they use in the workplace to be used as advantage and initiative as the apps they use on their smartphone. So, yung experience natin, gaya na lang yan. For example, sabihin natin, mag-order taking tayo. Sino po dito yung nag-work sa isang restaurant? Si Ma'am ano ba yon? Maricar Afable? Si Ma'am Afable ba yon?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Asa na si Ma'am Afable? Ma'am Marisa Afable. So sabi natin, di ba? Paano kaya ang magiging transaction natin kung wala tayong POS?
Bali, today kasi ma'am, we're not yet open for dining. So usually they place their order from the hotline
Okay.
or
So,
online procedure po, ganun po.
Oo. So, ibig sabihin natin, ang question natin, paano nga kung wala tayong hotline?
Bali, usually nga, pag gano'n naman po ma'am, kung walang hotline or the way, yung sa communication using by your cellphone or kung meron kayong landline phone, dun po pwede mag-place ng order. Then may communication na dun na natin masasettle kung ano po yung gusto nilang order from the, yes po.
Okay, thank you po Ma'am Marisa. So, ibig sabihin natin, gano'n na lang daw yung mangyayaring transaction if ever walang POS. Okay? Pero paano nga talaga? Di ba sabi, a better employee experience. Okay? Sumasaya ang mga empleyado because of the technology. We have computer, we have telephone, we receive messages to have the order or request of our customer. Paano pagka wala? So, na-experience natin na kumuha tayo ng order by what do you call this one? Taking order tayo by paper. Tapos, ang transaction din natin by resibo. Tapos, ang paano nga pag wala din tayong calculator. So, manual mo siyang kukumputin. So, that is, yun yung experience before ng mga naging empleyado. Ngayon, meron na tayong computer, diretso na nating makukompute lahat ng order o kaya naman, na isa-sum total na agad natin using the POS yung order ng ating customer. So, kaya sinasabi, a better employee experience. Naintindihan po? Clear tayo dito?
Opo.
Okay.
Yes po.
Okay, so we're done with this. Ito siya. Okay, naka-give na rin po si point 41. Self-check point 41. Okay, so the basic mathematical process. Check natin ang ano ba tong basic mathematical. Okay, i-give ko siya para malaman natin if this is ano ba tong exam ninyo. This is the identification. Identification to ha. Dito sa isa, sa self-check ng technology relevant to the enterprise, true or false, 10 points. So, pinakikita ko na yung mga dapat ninyong sagutan. So, the basic mathematical process daw, identify what mathematical is. Identify the different arithmetic operations. So, what is a mathematical? It is a systematic study of magnitude quantities and their relationship as expressed symbolically in the form of numerical and forms. So, what is arithmetic? Okay, arithmetic or Arithmetic is the oldest and the most elementary branch of mathematics, used by almost everyone for tasks, okay? Simple day-to-day accounting. Arithmetic operation. Okay, so ano ba ito? Basic arithmetic operation, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. And set of objects upon which all four arithmetic operation except division by zero can be performed, and where these four operation obey the usual law is called a field. Addition, so ito 1 plus 1, 1 plus 3, 4. Subtraction, multiplication, division. So this is, okay, the mathematical process. Ganon lang yung ating information sheet 4-2. So sasagutan nyo rin po 10 points to. So for the 4.3, iniisa-isa natin para at least guided kayo na alam na ninyo kung nasa na po ba tayo dito sa NEO LMS. Define what technical writing is. Identify the various type of technical report. What is a technical communication? Technical communication or technical writing is the course, as often called, is not writing about a specific technical topics such as computer, but about any technical topics. The term technical refers to the knowledge that is not widespread, that is more the territory of expert and specialists. Whatever your major is, you are develop an expertise. You are becoming a specialist in a particular technical area. What is a technical writing? Technical writing introduce you to some of the most important aspects of writing in the world of science, technology, and business. The type of technical report. Technical background report. The background report is the hardest to define but the most common written. This type of technical report provides background on a topic. Example is the solar energy, global warming, the CD-ROM. This is the technical background report. Patungkol ba saan yung technical writing mo? Instruction, these are probably the most familiar of all the types of report, and students often make backup procedure for the jobs they do at their work. The instruction, how to make the ubi cheese pandesal, that is the instruction. Feasibility recommendation and evaluation. Another useful type of report is ones that study a problem or opportunity and then make a recommendation. A feasibility report tells whether a project is feasible. That is whether it is practical and technologically possible. A recommendation report compares two or more alternatives and recommended one. Evaluation or assessment report in studies something in terms of its worth or value. Okay, the primary research report. So, ano ba ito? You may have written a lab report as they are commonly called for one of your previous course. This is perfectly good possibility for the technical report as well. This is type of the report. You not only present your data and draw conclusion about it, but also explain your methodology, describe the equipment. So these are some of the research report, the technical specification, the report length, business plans. So those are the examples of, okay, the documents. So this is a multiple choice. Okay, so puntahan natin ang basic to tayo, work in a team environment. Okay, checkan ko lang yung mga kailangan yung sagutan dito sa work in a team environment. Okay, pag-usapan po natin itong information sheet ng, okay, describe team role. What is the team role? Okay, the role and objective of this team is identified from available source of information, team parameters, reporting relationship. Again, we are in a basic 2, work in a team environment. Okay, so sabi daw natin dito, the team parameters, reporting relationship and responsibility are identified from team discussion and appropriate external source. Puntahan po natin ito. The team structure. So we're going to identify the organizational structure and the team structure. The team structure or organizational structure is visual diagram of a company that describe what employee do, whom they report to. So ibig sabihin, this is the organizational chart. Are you familiar with the organizational chart? Andito si manager, andito si supervisor, andito yung mga empleyado. Andito si counter clerk, andito naman po si dining clerk, andito si baker, andito si cook. So those are the examples of organizational structure. Okay, here's what each of those elements means to an organization. The chain of command. What is a chain of command? The chain of command is how tasks are delegated and work is approved. An organization structures allow you to define how many rungs of a ladder a particular department or a business line should have. In other words, who tells whom to do and what. So that is a chain command. Kung ito po yon, ito dito si manager, ito yung line, chains of command. Tapos meron siyang tatlo dito. Meron siyang general manager, meron siyang supervisor at swing supervisor. Okay? So, pagkatapos nito, si manager, sabihin natin, under niya sino? Okay, sabihin natin, ma'am, bakit magkatapat sila? Tinapat sila kasi pare-pareha sila ng task. Kung wala si manager, pwedeng si supervisor o si swing supervisor. Yun yung gusto ng may-ari. Pero merong nangyayari na si owner, si manager, si supervisor, okay, dalawa yung tao dun sa chain of command. Ito si swing supervisor, ito naman si supervisor. Intindihan si Ma'am Jovell? Span of control. Your span of control can represent two things. Your falls under manager, well management, and which tasks fall under a department responsibility. So yun na yung pinaliwanag ko kanina, di ba? Ano ba yung mga assigned tasks dito? Kunyari, ang naka-assign task kay manager, okay, to manage. Si supervisor to supervise. Katulong siya ni manager. Si swing, katulong naman si swing supervisor, katulong ni supervisor to manage the business. Naintindihan po. And then under ni swing manager, tsaka ni swing supervisor at saka ni supervisor, yung mga empleyado na. For example, andito si counter clerk, andito si dining, andito naman sabihin natin si cook, tsaka si baker. Ano ba yung mga span of control nila? Ano ba yung task assigned sa kanila? Doon sila may control. Naintindihan po, centralization. Centralization, describe where decisions are ultimately made. Once you've established your chain of command, you'll need to consider which people and departments have a say in each decision. A business can lean towards centralization or centralized, where final decisions are made by just one or two entities, or decentralized, where final decisions are made within the team or department. Pagka sinentralized, dalawang tao lang nagdidesisyon. For example, si supervisor at saka si manager. Silang dalawa yung nag-usap na i-raise yung ganito kay manager, ay kay owner. Naintindihan po natin. What if naman po, ma'am, kung decentralization? So, mag-uusap yung buong team. Tapos, saka yung i-raise ni manager kay owner. Okay, naintindihan po? Functional organization. Functional organizational structure, one of the most common type of organizational structure. The functional structure departmentalize an organization based on a common job function. An organization with a function or organization structure, for instance, would group all of the marketers together in one department. Group all of the salesperson. Ibig sabihin, pag sinabing functional organization, nakagrupo kayo, depende sa department ninyo. Naintindihan po ba natin?
Yes po.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What is the team role? Identify the strength and weakness of a different role. Identify the 9 team role of an organization. What is the different role? Understanding Belvin team's role model. Ano ba to? The team role action-oriented roles, the sharper or HS. Sharper are people who challenge the team to improve. They are dynamic and usually extrovert people who enjoy stimulating others, questioning norms, and finding the best approach for solving problems. The shaper is the one who shake things up to make sure that all possibilities are considered and that the team does not become complacent. Shaper often see obstacle as exciting challenge as they tend to have the courage to push on when others feel like quitting. That is the shaper. Implementer. Siya yung tagapagpatupad. That is the implementer. Okay? Completer or finisher. The completer is the people who see that project are complete thoroughly. They ensure that they have been no effort or omission. Again, si shaper, siya naman yung tutulungan kanya sa lahat ng pagkakataon. Okay? So, sabi natin, si implementer, siya ang tagapagpatupad. Okay? Si completer, siya yung tagatapos lahat ng assigned task. For example, may natapos niya kaagad. Tumutulong pa siya para matapos ng grupo ninyo yung assigned task ninyo. Okay, next natin. Entered roles. Coordinator are the one who take on the tradition team leader role and have always been referred to as the chairman. They guide the team to what they perceive are the objectives. They are often excellent listener and they are naturally able to recognize the value that each team member brings to the table. They are calm and good-natured and delegate tasks very effectively. That is the coordinator. Next natin, the team worker. Who are the workers? Sino? Tayo yung mga workers. Tayo yung mga manggagawa. The resource investigator. Resource investigator are innovative and curious. They explore available options, develop contacts, and negotiate for resources. That is the resource investigator. True-oriented roles, the PL. Who is the plant? The plant is the creative innovator who comes up with new idea and approach. Okay, siya yung taga-plano, ano ang gagawin natin para ma-reach natin yung goal in 5 days. For example, may catering ako, pero yung catering ko is hindi ko pala siya kayang gawin. Dahil gusto nito face-to-face. Okay, so paano yung gagawin natin? So pag-uusapan yun. Tatanggapin nyo ba yon or hindi? That is the big question eh. Am I going to, okay, to accept this or not? Kasi gusto niya, catering natin face-to-face. Eh, hindi pa naman tayo na-allow. Anong dapat natin gawin? Next is we have the monitor evaluator. The monitor evaluator are the best at analyzing and evaluating ideas. So, tama siyang mag-analyze kung we're going to pursue this catering or not. Specialists are people who are specialized knowledge that is needed to get the job done. So, kung ipo-pursue natin, may mga ganyan eh. O, set A, set B tayo. So, ano dapat ang gawin natin para kung ready tayo? So, siya si specialist. May mga contacts. Okay? May tanong po ba tayo? So, i-give ko na po lahat yung i-give na rin to. Ang self-check na to. Kung hindi nyo ma-edit ito, kung ma-edit ito, kasi magsusulat yata kayo. Kung hindi ito ma-edit, mga friends po, mga dear trainee, pwede niyo po siyang isulat sa papel, tapos i-screenshot niyo na lang. Ito po, oh. Yun dito
Okay
sa, opo, screenshot niyo siya, tapos sulatin niyo na lang yung sa bawat needed po, strength, allowable weakness. Ito kasi siya, oh. So, yun. Kasi mag-check nyo rin yung sagot nyo eh. Double check nyo po ito. Ito kasi yung pinaka-answer natin dyan. Para at least na-check nyo rin po yung sagot ninyo. Naintindihan po si Ma'am Jovell?
Opo.
Okay. So, give na po lahat yung para sa work in a team environment. Tomorrow, we're going to tackle about basahin na itong practice career professionalism, practice occupational health. Kasi ito po yung topic natin para bukas. Para at least may idea na talaga kayo. Pero ang tanong, ma'am, masasagutan na po ba namin ito? Hindi po, ang dami niyo po kasi sasagutan ngayong araw. Siyempre, rest naman natin yung mga brain cell, di ba po? Bukas naman po ito. Itong dalawa, okay? Basic practice career professionalism, tsaka practice occupational health and safety. Pagka natapos po natin ito, magdi-discussion na po tayo ng core competency. Naintindihan po si ma'am. Basta in 10 days po tayo. So ngayon ay ano ba ang date? Sa 10 days ang ating lecture. After ng 10 days lecture natin, magkikita-kita na po tayo ng face-to-face. Yay! Saya-saya nila. Yes po, kasi bukod naman dito talaga, kasi ito na yung new normal natin eh. Kahit sabihin natin magkakaroon na ng mga face-to-face, meron pa rin talagang time na magkakaroon ng online. Kasi nasimulan na natin siya, tama po? Once na nasimulan na natin siya, pwede na natin siyang i-apply. Okay? So may katanungan po ba tayo? Do we have question po? So for the live, click ko lang tong live na to, YouTube. Tapos copy streaming link. Lagay ko po yung streaming link po doon para at least ng ating pong klase. Lalagay ko po siya sa GC natin para at least lahat po ay ano. Para mabalikan po itong napag-aralan po natin ngayon. So, nilagay ko na po siya sa GC para mabalikan nyo. So now, after we're done discussing po our topic, so may I ask each one of you to do the feedbacking of what we have discussed today. Wait po, ma-present po ang video sa takin. Okay, ngayon ko lang po nabasa, pasensya na po. Okay po, so feedbacking tayo, Ma'am Annalisa Galicia.
Yes, ma'am. Ang napag-aralan po natin ngayon is about yung sa COVID-19 workplace. Tapos sa orientation po, yung mga assignment, yung mga about student orientation po, ma'am. Yun po ang mga diniscuss nyo ngayon. So, yung iba po doon, mga quiz na dapat po naming sagutan.
Okay, ano naman po ang natutunan natin, ma'am?
Ang natutunan po natin, ma'am, is yung tungkol po sa ating mga teamwork, kung paano po tayo magkaroon ng teamwork sa pagdating ng face-to-face. Tapos yung mga kailangan po natin na dapat hindi po tayo yung sasagot kung hindi po tayo tinatanong, hindi po tayo dapat mag-comment kung hindi po dapat, mga ganun po. Tsaka tungkol po din po sa dapat po natin pag-aralan sa pag bread and pastry po. Sa ganun po.
Thank you po, Ma'am Annalisa.
Thank you po. Thank you din.
Yes, Ma'am Arandelia Jocelyn. What have you learned? Kahit one sentence lang. What have you learned for today?
Sa akin po, ma'am, clear naman po. And sobrang more ideas po yung nalaman ko and knowledge.
Okay, thank you po. Yes
Thank you
po,
po.
Ma'am Marisa. Ma'am Marisa Afable. Yes, ma'am. Open mic po.
Wala akong naririnig. Bali yung obtain and convey workplace, yung like sa effective communication, different modes of communication, written communication. So, ang pinaka magiging parang aral is yung importante talaga na may communication tayo when it comes to sa workplace natin para maging smooth din yung kalalabasan ng gagawin natin as a team. Kailangan talaga may communication tayo, ma'am.
Okay po, ma'am. Maraming pong salamat, Ma'am Marisa Afable.
Thank you
po,
po.
Ma'am Jennifer. Ma'am Jennifer Di Jose.
Hello po, good morning. Yung ano po, ayun sa may clarity ma'am natin, yung sa may effective ng written communication po para mas mabilis maintindihan po ng bawat isa. Sa under ng 5C po.
Okay po, ma'am. Salamat po.
Po.
Yes po, Ma'am Irene Villanueva.
Hello po, ma'am. Good morning po. Meron po ba kasang ma'am?
Opo, ma'am. Narinig po namin kayo.
Ayun. Yung work environment po, yung pagkakaano ng yung, ano ba tawag doon? Yung kung ano yung yung mga sa taas mo, kung ano yung dapat trabaho mo, kung ano yung mga nila. Tapos po yung sa etiquette po, unang-una dapat respectful ka para masunod mo lahat. Tapos sa may ayun, tapos hindi ko ma-explain po. Yan sa connection po, dapat po ay matutunan na tayong magbasa muna or makinig. At hintayin natin yung tamang ano yung turn mo bago ka magsalita.
Okay po, Ma'am Irene. Salamat po. Yes po, Ma'am Gemma Katakutan.
Good morning po. Sa akin, ma'am, yung natutunan ko po, yung ability to relate to people's social range in the workplace, yung managing relationships, saka yung understanding the feeling of others. Saka yung perform routine workplace, yun lang po. Saka yung sa COVID, saka yung effective communication, ma'am. Yun lang po.
Yes po, Ma'am Trixie Ann Latones.
Yes po, ma'am.
Ano po ang natutunan natin today?
Yung ano po, yung tama pong pag-uugali sa workplace po, din yung sa teamwork po, and yung sa COVID safety measures po.
Okay, Ma'am. Thank you po. Yes, Ma'am Rubilin Mendoza.
Hello, ma'am. Good morning po. Ma'am, yung natutunan ko po regarding sa napag-aralan po natin ngayon kung ano yung kahalagahan ng effective written communication tsaka yung 5 C's of effective written communication po.
Okay po. Thank you po, Ma'am. Yes po, Ma'am Maureen. Yes po, Ma'am Maureen.